Hey guys, do you know preventing bed sores or pressure ulcers is actually far better than curing them? Welcome to my channel, and if this is your first time, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos. And if you are a return viewer, I do appreciate all your support so far. My name is Hilda, a health advocate with the sole aim to encourage people to age happily. And I do try to improve the quality of life of people that I come across, putting smile to their faces as many as I can. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing causes of pressure ulcers or bed sores and also sharing tips on how we can actually prevent bed sores from happening. I do want to encourage you all to watch this video to the end because remember, we are here to improve the quality of life of people around us, and I believe this is the best way that you can add that value to someone out there. It could be someone with mobility issues, a patient with cancer, someone who is wheelchair bound or bed bound. So watch this video to the end and don't forget to leave those beautiful comments, share your own thoughts about bed sores and pressure ulcers in the comment section. And what are bed sores or pressure ulcers? These are actually injuries to the skin and underlying tissues resulting from prolonged pressure on the skin. And it's really prominent to bony areas like ankles, elbows, tailbones, heels, and much more. Those who are at risk of pressure ulcers are mostly people with medical conditions just because they are unable to change positions, or people who are wheelchair or bed bound. And what is really bad in pressure ulcers is that it can take few hours or few days to develop. But you need to be very fortunate or lucky enough or blessed enough for it to be healed fast. Some get healed very fast, but some never get completely healed. That's the bad part with it. And yes, let's get into the causes of bed sores or pressure ulcers. The very first cause is pressure. Constant pressure to any part of your body will actually lead to decreased blood flow to the skin and the tissues. And blood flow is essential in delivering oxygen and other nutrients to the skin and tissues. So without nutrients, without oxygen, the skin and the tissues will be damaged and eventually die, causing blood pressure ulcer. The second cause of pressure ulcer is friction. Friction occurs when the skin rubs against beddings or clothing. And the third cause of pressure ulcer is shearing. Shear occurs when two surfaces move in opposite direction. Just for example, you are trying to elevate the head of a bed, and whoever is lying on that bed will eventually be sliding down while the head of bed is moving in the opposite direction. That causes shearing, and that is a great cause for pressure ulcer. The risk of developing pressure ulcer is even higher with immobility, probably just because of poor health. Incontinence, when the skin gets exposed to urine and stool, that is another way that you can easily get pressure ulcer. Lack of sensory perception. This is the inability to even feel pain or the discomfort. This means you are unable to be aware of the warning signs of pressure ulcer. That can really be devastating. Also, poor nutrition and hydration. We know how nutrients, the protein, calories, staying hydrated is very, very important to the body tissues. So if you don't have enough of this, you are at high risk of developing pressure ulcer. Again, medical conditions affecting blood flow. For example, people who are diabetic or who have vascular disease are at high risk of developing pressure ulcers or bed sores. So 3 tips that can help prevent pressure ulcers or bed sores: repositioning, skincare, and nutrition. With repositioning, it's very advisable that you reposition your loved one maybe hourly or every 2 hours, just to get that relief from the pressure. Also, getting a specialty chair. There are chairs that can actually be tilted to help you get off maybe the tailbone from the pressure of that chair. So if you can have a special chair that can be tilted, it will really go a long way to minimize pressure ulcer or bed sore. Also, another tip is to have these special cushions or mattresses. They actually help to minimize pressure. That's a great way to reposition someone who is bedbound actually. And if you have a bed that can be elevated, you want to keep it at the 30 degrees angle. That way, there is no way to experience sharing, because what is sharing I mentioned earlier is when those surfaces move in opposite direction. So if you put someone in a 30 degrees angle, there is no way that person is going to slide. That will cause that sharing, and which can actually lead to pressure ulcer. And yes, for skincare, you want to keep the skin clean and dry all the time to avoid moisture. Also, you want to protect the skin by moisturizing. And also, make sure your beddings are wrinkle free, and you try to iron your clothes before putting them on, because those wrinkles can actually irritate the skin, and that is a great way to cause pressure ulcer. Inspect the skin daily. Maybe during shower, just check if there are any signs or any symptoms of pressure ulcer. Maybe like redness, you could see something like a bruise. If you see something like that, maybe during shower, you should know it's a red flag, and you should try to minimize it by reducing the pressure of that area. And we mentioned about nutrition. That's the last tip to prevent pressure ulcer. Just like I mentioned earlier, your body tissues, they need nutrients, oxygen, protein, vitamins, the necessary minerals. Without which in those areas, you are at high risk of developing the pressure ulcer. So you want to make sure that you have the minimum of these nutrients in your daily diet. This will go a long way to minimize any bed sores or pressure ulcers. And yes, guys, I've come to the end of this video. I trust it was of value, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave those beautiful comments about the video in the comment section below. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. I love you very much. Bye.